Now, I've got Ben Hogan's book here, The 5 Lessons, and it is the biggest selling golf book of all time. And what I'd like to do is give you my take on it over the subsequent videos. When I first read it, 40-ish years ago, I've got to be honest, I didn't really understand it. And it was only really, 30 years later, having been through an awful lot of, lessons, a lot of experience, picking up ideas, evolving things. When I read it, we'll call it second time around, it was like, wow, I think I actually know what he's talking about here. And when you see his swing, it was this lovely fluid action, and it got to a point where it was very repeatable. And I'd like to kind of explain how he went through and the process and where we can actually get to with that one. So we're going to be talking about Ben Hogan's 5 Lessons, the Modern Fundamentals of Golf. Now, I've got the book open here, and the first thing I've come across really the fundamentals before we actually get into the swing stuff. And I think he was just trying to lay a little kind of path, really, a little sort of a route. And he was adamant that everybody could play proper golf. And I've now reached the same conclusion. And as I say, I'll go through what I believe. And I think for number one thing is too many people have got bogged down in technical stuff. I mean, in this book, there's not a lot of technical information. When I talk about technical, I'm talking about all the dreaded positions that we try and hit and so on. You don't learn sport that way, and he doesn't talk about that in this book. And I think as probably the best ball striker ever, so I believe, I think we should kind of listen to what he has to say. And he talks about, going through his really, I suppose, his career through his 20s, struggling and just working hard. And, and he goes on to, having sort of been through his career, watching people on the practice ground and just saying that, that in here, you can see people bashing away at balls. And, if they stand there, I think he says until you're 90 years old, they're never going to get any better. And yeah, we've all been through that. If you're working on the wrong things, golf's just a nightmare. Whereas what he was actually saying, and I believe him to be right, that if we can sort of whittle it down to the real fundamentals and understand them and how and so on, that everybody should make good improvement. So yes, it's just, going through this, he talks about all the, some of his friends, and he thought some of his ideas were a wee bit, I suppose, off the wall. But actually, when you're changing something, it's always going to feel strange. And I'd like you to kind of hopefully listen to what I've got to say about this and clarify some of the points so that the book that we're looking at will really start to make more sense to you. If you enjoyed our videos, could you please subscribe to our YouTube channel, pressing the red button below. Thank you.